This is the description of a 1-point lay staking plan spreadsheet. Set a basic stake at the top of the spreadsheet, and if you hit a loser with your lay, you have a successful lay, the stake will stay at 1 basic stake for your next lay. Hit a winner and you have lay liabilities, so you have debt. And to recover the debt, the stake increases each time for each of your next few lays until all the debt is recovered. Once the debt is recovered, the staking starts afresh with a 1 basic stake again, and the process is repeated. So that's all there is to this staking plan. The basic stake can be reset at any time in the sheet, so if your debt gets out of hand, you can reset your basic stake to a smaller amount. And the result of this staking method, if you have enough successful lays to recover your debt, is that you make approximately 1 point of profit from every one of your lays, including your commission deductions. If you're using this staking method, there is a way of working out approximately how many lays you may need to get back to a basic stake. So if you're able to lay at odds below 2, you need only 1 successful lay to win back your debt and get back to a basic stake. And if you lay at odds just below 4, you will need 2 successful lays to get back to a basic stake. So you would hit your winner, and then you need another 2 more stakes before you get back to your basic stake. And if you lay below 7, you would need 3 stakes to get back to a basic stake, and if you're laying somewhere just below 11, you will need 4 successful lays to get back to a basic stake. Now if you hit more than 1 winner, of course, those sequences would become longer. These just give an indication of roughly what would happen if you're just hitting single winners with your lays, with plenty of nice successful lays in between. Okay, let's have a look at the sheet. Here we are in the spreadsheet. Now if you've seen my other staking plan spreadsheets, you'll recognise this layout. They're all pretty similar. Enter your date in column A and name your runners in column B. Enter your lay odds in column C, and as you input your lay odds, you get a stake in column E. Now column F shows the liability of that lay, so that you can check that against what you see in Betfair or other exchange that you're laying in. And column G shows the potential damage to your bank if you hit a winner with that lay. Now once you know your result, put your result in column D, leave it blank if you hit a loser, or put a 0 in, and put a 1 in if you hit a winner. Column H shows profit or loss without commission taken off, and column I shows profit or loss with commission deductions, and column J shows your running total of your profit and loss, so that's just a total of what's happening in column I. And you can set a bank at the top of column K, and this profit and loss then is added or taken off for your bank. So I've got a 0 in up there, so the bank column looks exactly the same as the running total. So if I put £100 in there, you'll see that all this is added on to the £100. So I'll set that to 0. That's how I like it. You can set your commission at the top there, put whatever you like in there, whatever your commission rate is, and set a basic stake there at the top of column L. Now that sets a basic stake in the staking plan. I've got a 1 in there at the moment, so it sets off with a stake of 1, look. And if we put a 10 in there, for instance, everything will get bigger. So the staking goes to 10. Okay, I'll put it back to 1 so you can see what's happening. Right, so we'll see what's happening with these few lays here. You can see we've hit a couple of successful lays there, and the staking starts off with a basic stake of 1 that we've set up there. So while we're hitting losers, we have successful lays, our staking stays at 1. We've got a 1 on that one, but we hit a winner, so we've now got debt, and our debt is shown in this debt column here, and the stakes will increase one at a time, one basic stake at a time, until the debt is recovered. So it goes back to a basic stake there, look, debt has been recovered there. We've still got 65 pence, but that is less than our basic stake, so there's no point in chasing that. So it goes back to a basic stake rather than the next stake being a 65 pence. And to show you what your next stake is, we've got a next stake column here. So that if you've just done this last one at the bottom down here, for instance, once you've put that on, if you had some debt, you might want to know how much your next lay would be, so you can decide what you're going to do next. So this column here just shows you what your next stake will be as you're going along. Okay, so we've come down here, hit some successful lays, then hit a winner, and the staking increases by 1 stake, so it goes from 1, 2, 3, and then back to a basic stake once the debt is recovered, and it sets off again then. I'll hit another winner with that one, so it sets off again, increasing 2, 3, 4, and then once the debt is recovered, it's down to 0 there, look. So the next stake is a 1, so it goes back to a 1 again, and well, we've got these successful lays, all our stakes stay at 1 until we hit another winner. Then we've hit 2 winners there. So the stake after that first one, the staking sets off again, 2, 3 onwards, and we've hit a second one, so it just keeps going until we get back to having cleared our debt, which is at that row there, and then it goes back to a basic stake again, and off we go again, and so on. Now up at the top you can see here it tells you how many winners we've hit. There's 4 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and how many lays we've had. There are 24 sets of odds in there, and that shows you a strike rate. So 4 winners in 24 is a strike rate of 16.67. Now you can see that 24 lays has produced £25 or 25 points of profit, even after commission. So there you have a brief description of just what can be done using this 1 point staking plan. If you're able to get some sequences of successful lays, you will be able to clear your debt, and everything will be okay. Now you must remember this is debt recovery, so stakes increase after you hit winners, so you need to be a bit careful with it. Okay, now you may have noticed that we've got a load of football matches here, all kicking off on the same day. Now these are just some odds that I was looking at. So in reality, if you were doing football matches, for instance, you would need to place 1 lay, wait for the result of that, and then once you know that, place the next one. Otherwise you wouldn't get your staking right. If you hit a winner, for instance, you would need to know that your next lay needed 2 stakes on it, so you would need that game to finish before that one started. So these odds in here, most of them kicked off at the same time. I was just working out what was happening if I got a sequence of results from these particular games. Okay, now over here in this reset column, we can reset the basic stake at any time. So if your debt is looking a bit out, as if it's getting out of hand, you might not want to just there you've got a next stake of 3, for instance. You might not want to put that on, so you can, if you set your next stake as a 1, it will then it will retain that debt will be retained, but your next stake, instead of it being a 3, it goes to a 1, look. so it takes that and puts it in there, but keeps the debt. So if you then hit a loser with that, that's okay, so it puts your bank up a little bit. And if you still don't fancy this next stake of 2, you can put another one in there and it will just stake another one for you. So until you feel comfortable with what your next stake is, you can just set that to anything. You could set it to half a stake if you like, and it will still retain the debt that's still outstanding. So that's this reset column allows you to control what your stakes are a little bit. And also, if you get into some nice profit, if you get into some nice profit up here, for instance, we're at about 14 and 15 pounds there, you might fancy increasing your stakes. So that will increase them from what was a basic stake of 1 down as far as there, increase it up to 2, so everything progresses now in 2s. So we've hit a winner there, so it goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and once the debt is cleared over here, it goes back to a basic stake of 2, which is what's set in there. Okay, thanks for listening and good luck with your 1 point staking plans.